Hey everybody, today Jared and I want to address a common question that we get as we get closer into spring, and that question is, how early is too early to spray?
Yeah, Mike, that's one I get. It seems like every year. Should I go yet? Should I go yet? And in reality, I think we probably drag our feet a little longer than we should a lot of years. And part of that is because it seems like we put ourselves in this scenario every year that we start chasing the planter. And we didn't get enough chemistry on, and Mother Nature's never playing our game. And in reality, with some of the products we have on the market, we should have a lot of confidence that we have the ability to go out early. You know, how early is too early? You know, obviously I don't want to go after frosted weeds and when things are really, really cold. And for those that haven't watched it, watch Brady and Eric's video on cold weather applications. But in reality, once the weather's fit and planting looks imminent, you know, within 2 to 4 weeks from now, I really think we should start to apply herbicides earlier than we normally do. You know, as I look at planters today, they're only getting bigger. A lot of growers have more than one. Heck, they're even planting corn and soybeans at the same time. And here we are with the sprayers that have to be parked on days if we got really high winds, 15, 20 mile an hour winds, and they sit and watch planters go back and forth. And I think it's really easy to get behind. You know, last year, Mike, just for example, it was pretty quick to see that not many soybean pre's got down because we were still trying to catch up on corn pre's. So I guess what I'm saying is, if we think about a proactive approach, I think we'll be better off in our total weed control system because we've got some really good herbicides that allow us to go out earlier and kind of take hold of that initial step in weed control by utilizing residuals in our portfolio.
Yeah, Jared, you mentioned residuals, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons why we get this question is there is a little bit of risk, right? That the earlier you go out, even with those residual products, the sooner you are going to have to come back with that second post pass because your residual is eventually going to run out.
Sure.
And the earlier you apply, the quicker that date comes up. But for example, in soybeans, for some of like the Roundup Ready to Extend or the Extend Flex acres, that's actually not the worst thing in the world. As you get into, for example, here in Illinois, where we've got a June 20th cutoff for our dicamba applications in those soybean platforms, as well as a temperature restriction that the later you get into the year, it's going to make it more difficult to find a suitable day to make those applications. Moving that application up is not exactly the worst thing in the world, and throwing in a residual is going to continue to give that protection until your soybeans get to canopy and they can kind of take care of themselves. So really not something that we're terribly concerned with, but that is one of the reasons that we get that question.
I think so. And as I look in our portfolio, I really believe that, you know, we start to see green fields, and maybe even before that in some scenarios where we're out weeding and feeding, or even we've got some conventional till fields, I'd like to leverage our residuals. And so as I think about our corn acre, one of the products that I really like to tap the tank with first is Verdict. Verdict at those higher rates of 15 to 18 ounces where you can run those based on the soil type, provide a nice foundation of residual out there. And if you've got the no-till acre, it provides excellent burn down. And so getting that out there early is something that I can start with now and get myself ahead of the planters and ahead of those calls saying, you know, I'm already behind, or, you know, I've already got this field planted, and you're starting to chase things, and then, you know, we get on our heels. And then we get Mother Nature that can throw their hand in there. I think this proactive approach and having this plan that this layered residuals, even in corn or soybeans, it can be a factor. And it all starts with, in my opinion, some of these products now like Verdict. And in the soybean market, you know, we've got a product called Residual Pro.
Yeah, Jared, and in all honesty, when we're talking about a combination of burn down and residual, I honestly can't think of a better combination of those two. So for your no-till soybean acres, you've got the sharpened component in there to get that quick burn down for those winter annuals and potentially any early emerging summer annuals that are coming out. But you've also got 3 modes of action that are going to bring a range of residual control to the table as well, from large seeded broadleaves with the sharpen and the pursuit that is going to last a really long time, as well as on grasses. And then finally, you got the power of that premix, which is Zidua, and you've got a 3 1/4 rate of Zidua, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 3 1/4 ounces of Zidua packs one big punch on the residual side of things. So we're very comfortable with that going out a couple weeks, or if not a little bit more, before planting, because we know that Zidua is going to hold out for a lot longer than some of our other products out there, and still provide you the flexibility to get that second post pass applied in a timely manner, as well as staying ahead of those planters that are moving really fast.
Yep, I think it's well said, Mike. I think utilizing the residuals of this provides a lot of confidence that we're starting off on the right foot. And so I guess when the time feels right and you're starting to see planting being imminent, and especially as we see these fields green up, I would say resist that urge to be hesitant. I think we probably are more conservative on that as possible. Again, that risk of going too early is only that we're going to push that post pass up a little sooner, right? So on acres where we can, let's stay ahead of this stuff and really start ourselves off on the right foot for weed control this year. And I truly believe that foundation in Verdict or Residual Pro for corn and soybeans, right, that's going to start us off having a successful year, and that time might be right now.
Yep, Jared, and this is a conversation not only for growers, but for retailers as well. Everybody's got a lot of acres to cover, and having that ability to get out there a little bit earlier, and I think the biggest takeaway is you're buying yourself flexibility. And that's something that when we get in the heat of application season, there's not a lot of to go around, so you're surely starting yourself out on good foot.
Yep. For any questions on Verdict Residual Pro, reach out to your BASF representative or retailer.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. The thoughts and comments expressed on these videos are the opinions of the nozzle heads. Be sure to like and subscribe down below to be notified of new videos and content.